Welcome back to my channel. I slept maybe 4 or 5 hours because I was watching some series yesterday. It was a rerun, so I watched it a couple of years ago, and now I was watching it again, noticing lots of new details and stuff. It is very well written. A series from the beginning of 2000s. They were written in a completely different way than nowadays the series are, that is for the streaming. So I was watching that, and after that, I slept 4 or 5 hours, woke up, we had something to eat, and then we went to the city. I put on my favorite gray t-shirt, but I knew I'm not gonna be able to take pictures with it because the weather kinda changed in the last few days and it became very cold. So, well, it was the plan to pack away all the winter clothes, but we haven't done it yet. There was no time for it. We needed to watch some series from the beginning of the 20s. So we had the winter jacket and everything else outside, and we needed it for today because it was very cold. So very first thing, we went to a donut shop. I don't know, this donut thing is it's too sweet. I don't really like it, but it reminds me when I worked abroad overseas, and I was so stupid and young, and I did not care about anything, and every single morning I had a donut and a coffee, and I put on so much weight. It took me months, even a year, to work it off. It's very difficult, but now once in a blue moon, it's absolutely okay to have one. Before that, we went for a shop. It's next to the foils, the bookshop, and you can buy all sort of things. And we needed a lot of things for lots of small things for the kitchen. When you cook something and you want to put it in a freezer, you need all sort of things to seal the packs and stuff what you put away for later use. So we bought that one, hand soap and other stuff, and the jug which we really needed for the smoothie because the previous jug got broken. I felt so sad that it got broken because it was crystal. We bought it somewhere in a shop for it was very cheap, but immediately when we saw it, we knew it's crystal. It's an original one. Probably the people who were selling it, they didn't see the value in it. But I'm from Hungary, from Eastern Europe, and crystal glasses are very treasurable. So we got a downgrade because now we could only got our hands on a plastic one. So no more crystal glass jar. It's gonna be a plastic one from now on. But this is the current economy. We bought very unique cosmetics. Listen to this. The conditioner is with rosemary and mint, and the hand soap is with white tea and neroli. I have no idea what neroli is, but it sounds very unique. So okay, let's take that. After this, we went for a coffee to one of my favorite place in London, and the guy who was behind the counter, the barista asked me if I'm from Colombia. And this is always very interesting, when you try to guess each other's age, each other's origin. It's always so much fun. And I said, no, 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 I'm not from Colombia. I'm from I'm from a completely different part of the world. Hungary, Eastern Europe, Central East Europe, yeah. In a coffee bar, we were sitting outside. It's a corner shop, so there are three tables, round tables on one side, and around the corner, if you walk, then you find another three, four round tables. So we were sitting on that, and you could notice on the top of the tables, not on every table, but most of the table has these ashtrays, and people sort of fighting for it. And people sit there, smoke their cigars or cigarettes, and they having their espressos. And I remember when I came here to London, it was a few years back, and it was absolutely alright to smoke everywhere. So when we went to a disco, to a club, you could feel the cigarette smoke. It was so thick you could walk on it, and now it's changed. I remember that you could smoke everywhere before, and now it's changed. And I think this coffee bar where we went, it's so popular because they let the people smoke, obviously not inside but outside, and they even put the ashtray out. Next to us, couple of young guys were sitting, and they bought Star Wars merchandise with the X-Wings planes, and they were playing with it. Because in a very close proximity, you have Forbidden Planet. There used to be lots of comic book shops, but now there's basically only one remains, and that is the Forbidden Planet. It's a two floor shop, which is absolutely fantastic, and you can see many people walking around with their shopping bag with their logo on it. The temperature was so very cold. Even when we entered the different shops on Oxford Street, I kept the winter jacket on me, zipper up. And people said from Eastern Europe that even though it's end of April, back at home there are hail, that is rain with ice this time of the year. That is not really good for the agriculture at all, because now everything is blooming. It's supposed to be blooming because it's spring. We tried some new things. We find a Korean shop with sushi, and I said, this is very London, when you have something like that. We went in and we looked through the stuff, and we bought well, on the package it says rice stick, but for me it's basically rice pasta. And I updated my wish list because I need to go back and buy the dumplings. They had a wide selection of dumplings, which I really like. And then after 6, 7 hours of spending time hanging out around the Oxford Street area, we went to our very last shop, and we bought some very interesting stuff, because I like to try new things. So we bought Greek salad, antipasti. I would otherwise never buy this sort of stuff, and flame seared Italian artichokes, and king prawns in paprika marinated stuff. You have these massively influential consultancy firms, and one of them just published a report about millennials and Gen Z spending habits. So they needed to choose from different things such as bars, restaurants, travel, what you spend your money on. And what got the first spot was groceries. So I was watching commentary videos on that. And yeah, that's why today was about groceries.